Welcome to Shape the Podcast, a podcast all about maintaining mental health by sharing stories from those who have overcome negative experiences and feelings, and then turned them into something positive. Meet your host.
Oh, hey, what's up? What's up, everybody? It's another Wednesday night, sir.
It sure is.
And I'm here to tell you right now, I don't know about you on your end, but this week has been the longest week since I can remember. Like, since January, okay? January had some really long weeks, but this has felt like a January week to me.
These last 2 days have felt like a long month already.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. You had some things go on, man. What's been going on in your life?
Well, yesterday, Amy goes to log into our banking app on the phone, and guess what? Our checking account is gone. So
just gone, just wiped out.
Gone, not there. So
All
of
right.
course, first thing she's thinking is maybe we got hacked or our money got, hacked by somebody, whatever. But the checking account doesn't even show up in the listing. So it's more than that. And after hours and hours and hours of useless people on customer service and at the branch for the local bank, come to find out, the bank just didn't want me as a customer anymore and deleted my account.
But why?
Never overdraft,
All right.
never bounce a check, always maintain a balance. I mean, the perfect customer. And
Yeah.
I have no reason. They cannot provide me a reason. They just said, apparently somebody didn't want to do business with you anymore, so we closed your account.
It's the Mohawk. That's what it was.
It probably was. I don't blame them.
So they closed your account, and so they were just holding your money?
They closed my account. So here's the kicker. They closed my account. They told me I will get a check in the mail for the balance that was in my checking account, but who knows when. And I'm sure they'll process that at their leisure.
Yeah.
But this happened on Monday afternoon. They canceled the account. As of Monday afternoon, we were still writing checks to pay bills off that account.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's checks out there that I've sent that I now have to chase these people down and say, hey guys, I didn't bounce a check, but my stupid bank decided to close my account for no reason. As if they're going to believe that.
They gave nothing. No warning.
Nothing. Nothing. No warning, no excuse.
See, this is why I don't like banks. And I don't like. I hate banks. I despise banks. I will. My wife made me put my money in a bank account, so it's in hers. It's in her account, and I trust my wife dearly. But I
better hope so.
I do. I love her. I love her to death. But I hate banks because of this reason. Like I would. But so nothing. So here,
So here's the amazing thing. 3,500 followers or so.
Yeah.
And I made that post. It's about 30 hours ago.
Yeah, I remember that post.
I've had dozens of people message me saying, well, what did you find out? Because they did the same thing to me.
Duh.
So there's a lot of people that this is happening to.
So, but like different banks or the same bank?
The majority of them are coming to me saying it's the same bank, M&T Bank. I will say this out loud. M&T Bank canceled my my checking account.
Okay, and they're a national
bank. Yeah.
Yeah. That's insane. Like,
yep.
Well, what's up, Brewer? What's up, Mr. Harmon?
Brewer Jeff. Yep.
That's like, what's up, Baker? What's going on, sir? That's insane. Like, you So, uh, well, what about your business accounts?
Well, so it was only my personal account.
All right.
My business accounts are with a different bank.
Did you take your personal account to that bank?
I took my personal account to a whole nother bank because I'm already not thrilled with the bank that my business accounts are with. So
Okay.
I went to a whole new bank altogether today.
Did you move your business over there to that whole new bank, or you?
Not yet.
All right.
The most emergent thing that needed to be handled was a personal account and funding it so we can continue to pay our personal bills.
Yeah, dude, that's
First and foremost.
and like, yeah, fuck that. I mean, excuse my language, but fuck that. I mean,
I'll-
that's yeah. That's oh no, can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you.
All right, yeah, that's yeah. Like no, like well,
Thanks,
dude,
big bank.
yeah, thanks,
Yeah, yeah.
big one for
Dry,
you. Yeah,
dry.
yeah. No
Yep.
fucking lube, no fucking lube on that fuckery, man. Yeah. So I'm sorry. You
So tonight's a whiskey night.
all right? Well, I wish I had some, but I'm drinking. I'm drinking zero sugar cola. Okay,
There you go.
but yeah. Uh,
Mhm.
all right. What's Jeff saying here? Let's see
Jeff
here.
saying?
He never had a bank issue, but he was billed by the Atlanta VA and Piedmont Healthcare for another veteran with the same name, and he was 90 miles away. Jeez, that's okay. Well, hopefully they got that figured out, Jeff. Like for real. Like that's crazy. Yeah. Well, I can say that I had not had any bank issues. Thank you. I did, however, have to
Great
drop.
start.
Yeah, I did, however, have to drop over $1,000 on new brakes, rotors, and calipers. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was an unexpected expense, so to speak. But
Hey, it's for safety, so
yes,
it comes with owning the car.
that is true. And
Mhm.
I've owned the car now for 4 years and never had to replace them until now. So
Okay, so
you
you're
know,
doing good.
yeah, I can't
Yeah.
complain there. But
Hmm.
yeah, that's it. And then we celebrate the pagan holiday with the family, my family, and then over the weekend, Chris's family got together, and
Hmm.
as good Catholic families do, we had some drinking, drank some libations, right? Uh, so that was a good thing. And then we talked about uh, vacation stuff. So with the nephew that plays football, unfortunately now our family vacations are centered around football games.
Hmm.
It's terrible, like, but now it's centered around football games. But yeah, but that's how my week's gone. So
Well, that
nothing.
sounds good.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, the bright side is you got a new color in your mohawk, sir.
Well,
Yes.
it's a new old color. I'm
Old
back
color, yeah,
to red again.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure your face was just as red when you found out that the bank had just up and closed your account. Man, speaking
One
of
of one
mental,
of one of my wife's girlfriends texted and said, "I just want to have a bag of popcorn and go into that branch when Jason goes in there because I know it's going to be awesome."
so speaking of your wife,
Yeah,
I saw today she went hiking by herself, and
she did, as she often does. Yes.
and she over exerted herself a little bit and had to take a spill on the trail and rest a little bit.
Yeah, she I think it was about 87 here today,
Yeah, it's hot.
and the forest doesn't have leaves on the trees yet, so you're not shaded
Yeah,
like you typically are in mid-season. And I guess she just misjudged the heat and the temperature, and at around the 6 mile mark, had a heat stroke issue. Fortunately, sane enough and conscientious enough to be texting me so that I can monitor her progress, but she had to
yeah,
just sit down and let her body cool down for a half hour or so. But the problem is when you're in the woods and there's no leaves on the trees, you don't have any shade, so it's
yep.
very slow process to cool your body back down after that.
Well,
But she got through it.
Yeah, I'm glad she did, and I'm glad that she's okay. And that she was conscious enough to text you and say, "Hey, this is where I'm at, just in case." So
Well, she's a tank in that regard. She'll do some of her longer days, 14, 15 miles. So
yeah,
an 8-miler shouldn't have been that bad, but it was just, unprepared for the heat because it's the first hot day of the season. Body's got to adapt a little bit.
Yeah, well, it's that's why I don't go hiking. That's why I don't run. All right, no, nope, I won't do it. But man, tonight we have a cool guest on. All right,
Yeah, we do.
If people don't remember, a couple of guests a while ago, Brandon Barnson was our guest, and
Chewy.
and so Chewy told us about this guy, and this guy simply goes by Faded. Okay, that's his name. That's what he goes by. So, we're gonna find out what that's all about, and then we're gonna hear about his story. So, let's go ahead and bring him on the stage. How about it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey,
What's up, sir?
how's it all tonight?
To the shit show. I mean, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Jason with the sound effects. So, first of all, Faded. What's the name for? Like, what's it stand for? How'd you get it?
Yeah. So to be honest, like as always, Faded, being a bearded group, we find ourselves being given names. I chose not to take a name, but give myself a name.
Right.
And originally it was like, oh, we're getting drunk and we're getting faded, right? That was the concept around all of it. And as I went on and progressed and grew, I found myself changing and realizing faded no longer stands for being faded, being drunk, being outlandish. It can be. There's times where it can be, but I've changed that concept to fearless and daring every day. That's what faded for me stands for. To be that fearless and daring person every day, right? To be able to do all the things, go on a hike on our own, or do our day-to-day base of life. So I had to change the meaning of it throughout my journey, but it stuck with me of, oh, it can still be this pathway, but not be what it used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like that. Well, speaking of your journey, let's just hop into that real quick. I know you because of Chewy. Brandon Barnton. You're also in the breeding community, which is awesome. Well, you were, and now you're not, but it's whatever.
You always are.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Unfortunately, even though when you don't want to be, but let's talk about your mental health journey, and then we'll bring up something cool that you're doing. So if you want to just go back as far as you want to, man, like your upbringing, like what your struggles.
Yeah, I feel like I've gone through quite a bit. Just being, I hate to always put it towards that, but being in the LGBT community, you find struggles with spirituality. You guys talked about as well being a good Catholic boy growing up in Arizona, just being like, oh, what? I'm an altar server. I'm this like, God-fearing person, and then coming out and having that change of thought of, oh, well, you can't be this because you're this, and having that takeaway of, oh shit, well, how am I going to survive and be, and so through life I struggled with that as I was an altar server, and I lived with my parents, and we went through struggles of fighting back and forth of why am who I feel I am.
Yeah.
I'd go and dye my hair bright pink because, well, I could find the most feminine color that I could find to piss off my dad or whatever it was, to just kind of just be like, I don't care, I'm gonna do what I want, you
Mhm.
know. And I had always been very outspoken, um, uh, in that of I'm just gonna be who I am at this point. You
Yeah.
know, if I know that I can't be a priest or a person of faith, not that I'm not, you know, and
Yeah,
that's
I was gonna say
yeah.
you can,
Yeah,
because
no, and I am, and
yeah,
it's really interesting because I go back and forth, and I do a lot of energy work. I do Reiki. I do. I visit the Buddhist temples. I explore all spirituality aspects because I want to be able to connect with people
yeah,
and who they are and what they do. I do sound baths and sound bowls, pull tarot cards. You know, you name it. I try and be part so I can communicate with people better and in some level because most people connect with faith in some way form. So yeah, going through that spiritual journey as well, but but just crazy spiritual journeys are insane, and storytelling
Mhm.
and all of that is yeah, the
well,
legend
it's
of, the legend of Jesus is really interesting to read
well,
for
yeah, well,
sure.
and it's really cool that you didn't let people stop you from being you. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
Yeah,
you knew you were LGBTQ, right? And you didn't try to be straight. You know what I'm saying? Like you're like, hey, this is me. Like me, you love me for my pink hair.
yeah,
It's like you didn't let that phase your part of your life, which I think is awesome. You
yeah,
know,
Mhm.
um, there's a lot of people out there who are of that persuasion, and they're afraid. They're afraid to come out. They're afraid to talk about it because of being judged. Right?
yeah.
But the way I look at it is that you know, go ahead and judge me for who I am, for what I believe, because hey, take a look at yourself. Take a look at yourself in the mirror, and you'll see that you're not as good as you think you are.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
and I'm
I,
I'm sure with that, like that had to hurt your mental health a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
well, yeah, because you feel judged and you feel unsure of who you are and what life brings you. You know, you don't even know if you're good enough, right? You know,
Yeah.
even though don't get me wrong, my mother, my parents, they loved me, they cared for me, they made sure I had what I needed, you know, to survive. But as Mexicans, we didn't talk about our feelings. We didn't, you know,
Yeah.
as humans, I think still we have a hard time talking about our feelings. To just even do what we're doing right now, you know, it's hard because you start bringing this up and then you're like, oh shoot, if I say something, what if my mom hears this, or what if my sister
Mhm.
says something
That's
to
that's when you don't worry about it, right?
you
Because
don't, you
on
know.
on this podcast, sir, on this podcast, you're allowed to say whatever the fuck you want to.
Well,
I,
of
and,
course,
and, and, and
yeah,
I say that. And this podcast is non-judgmental. And you know what? People who might watch this and might listen to it, they might judge you. But like I said, maybe they should look at themselves before they judge somebody based on their story. Because
yeah,
your story, and your story made you the person who you are today.
right. And that's
But
really like,
this is not an uncommon topic though.
No, it's not.
There's
Yeah.
multiple guests who have
Yep.
come to us and they were intimidated or nervous about telling their story publicly. I mean, right now there's one person watching, so I mean, this is a huge audience. There's
Yeah.
yeah,
And by the way,
point
we don't worry
being, it's
about that.
intimidating.
Yeah, we don't worry about uh, the people watching. And we know that if that one person that's watching right now, if they get something out of it, then that's what helps.
And that's the point. Yeah. And I think that's the point of all of our stories, right? Is being able to share what we can and can't do, what we can and are able to do. Because saying we can't is automatically going to be like, I can't do this, and that's it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then you're out of it, and there is none.
Yeah.
So it's. I recently read the Voice of Knowledge by Don Miguel Luis. He wrote the book The Four Agreements. If you've ever heard of those, but in this last book, he talked about how everything is a story. He broke down, he's more of a religious aspect guy, but he told, everybody's story and perspective is different. And it's really interesting once you start breaking that storyline down and saying, well, who am I? What is my story, and what am I saying to people by doing what I do in a daily basis? It changes your life, because then you don't worry about who sees what or what is said.
Yeah.
And if you would, what was that author's name again?
Miguel Luis. Don Miguel Luis.
Yeah.
If you pull up the Four Agreements, it will pull up. That's the first book that he kind of starts with. But the Voice of Knowledge, I really enjoyed that.
The Four Agreements.
Perfect.
Yeah, and it'll test your religious thought process. So if you have one, but break that wall down and don't even think about that, because he doesn't go in threatening way of talking where you're like, oh shit, he's gonna challenge every thought process in my whole being, and I'm reading a whole new story. But no,
it's so I'm actually looking at it right now. It's pretty. So it talks about personal freedom, right? It talks about master the dream of your life, right? And so it's pretty awesome, like that. It has those different levels, which is, I think, is a great thing, like.
And they're simple, and they're so simple. It's just like speak highly every time you speak. Speak with impeccability. Be your best self. Those are two of the agreements out of the four, and just that in general. Just knowing how you're speaking and what you're, how you're speaking to yourself, how you're speaking to others, and how that affects you is, that breakdown.
Yeah, and and you bring that up, like you see it daily, and on how we sometimes approach others with our thoughts and our actions. Like you never know what somebody is going through, and I mean, yes, is the world made up of a lot of soft people? Yeah, there are a lot of soft people, but like, sometimes you have to say, all right, look, this person might be going through a lot of shit right now. Like, I could talk this way to this person, or talk that way. It's
to a different person.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, so that's awesome that you brought that up. So, when did the light bulb switch for you on your mental health journey, that you're like, all right, I'm tired of hurting. I'm tired of being like a puppet for others, so to speak. And then when did you start this awesome project that you have?
Well, so the project itself, that started when I was with the Bearded Group. Prior to that, I had the idea. I've carried the idea for a long time of, I want to build this ribbon. I didn't know why. I was just like, why do you want to build this ribbon for suicide prevention? And that was your topic. And it's like, and I couldn't explain why for a long time. I was like, I just want this ribbon that wraps around the Lincoln Memorial. That was like my first visual goal. And why the Lincoln Memorial? Don't ask me, because I had no, like, all I could think of is Forrest Gump, Lincoln Memorial, the like, what's the like thing that people go and see and reflect upon, right? So I guess
Yeah.
that's really what it comes down to, is, seeing it stripped. Anyways, so it was that, like, I had that thought process, but people kept asking why. I was like, I don't know. We just need it. Let's
Yeah.
build it, and it'll figure itself out.
Yeah, there should never be the question why. You know,
Yeah.
if you believe something and you want something, make that dream happen, no matter if people question it or not. You know,
Yep.
and especially something like this. You know, like you touched on prior to the show. You know, your uncle committed suicide.
Yeah.
There's your why right there. Right,
Yep.
but you don't have to have a why to have a memorial piece to remember those who have struggled, you know. And
Right.
so
Mhm.
how is that journey coming right now? Like where are you in that, the making of the ribbon?
So the making of the ribbon, I have 66 feet of it.
Wow.
Um, uh, 5 of those panels read out "You are not alone." Um, and then a portion of those panels, so they're in different panels, like flags almost,
Yeah.
so that it's easier to transport, kind of, so that they're not just one huge fabric roll that I gotta unravel every time. Um, uh, but each other piece has names of those that have passed, but also encouraging messages. So I changed it to also add those encouraging messages for those that stop by and see it, to be that aspect of, this is not just where I would be if I died, or if I chose to go along with what I chose, but then, and it be successful. I don't want that to be my last. But sometimes that's what people need to help them process what they're going through. And that has opened up for me to be able to start doing sound baths. So I offer sound baths at different rates for free. At times, I do different healing practices, like I said, with the Reiki and stuff like that. So that's then about that turned my journey of the spirituality and the healing portion for the community of what I can provide to them through that ribbon. So yeah, right now the ribbon is ever moving, so
All
it's
right.
always going to different events. Last year I went to 3 different states with it, and so I like to take it around. We went to Colorado last year and Arizona and put that up. So and New Mexico, actually. So a couple different states there that we went to different events that
If
kind of
if
hosted there.
somebody wants to add to that, um,
Yeah.
uh, are they able to send you something to add to it, or are they able to tell you like what they want to add to it, and then you add to it, like
Yeah, there's that option. They can always message me, a direct message off of the Suicide Prevention Memorial Instagram.
uh,
That's the main gig on for that one that can be found.
and what is that? What is that Instagram? That way, if people
Yeah.
who are listening or watching want to know.
Um, as I wish that I made it simple before, but it's at Suicide Prevention Memorial. So if you
Uh,
look up Suicide Prevention Memorial, you should find that.
on Instagram also,
Yes,
and
yeah.
and then on Facebook they could just type in your name, Faded. I mean, come on now. It's
Yeah, if you look up on Faded, or if even on Instagram, it's Faded Box. Faded
uh,
Box. That's where you're gonna find me, And if you find me there, you'll find the links to everything else I do.
So I think that, hey, I mean, I'm really intrigued by this memorial ribbon.
Yeah.
Hey, I think it needs to get out there and more people to see it. Um, kind of like a traveling memorial. All right,
Yeah. So
so
what? So
we
I'm actually working on that, and
all right,
I can give you a little insight. I don't know if you've already heard, but I'm working on walking across the U.S.
all right.
Yeah.
Let's talk
Yeah.
about that. So you're where are you at in that process
The,
of that beginning stages?
Yeah, so that process, I've been walking about 3 to 5 miles a day. I'm not gonna lie on that one.
All
And
right,
then on like being specific about it, right? I do my daily walking, I do my regular whatever that life causes, but being specific on it, and then weekly I've been adding up one bigger walk.
all
Where
right.
I'll do like a 12-mile walk a day. The goal is to do 26 miles a day through that walk from Utah to Florida.
Okay, and
And
why?
is
Um,
there a
And
significance to that
yeah,
number?
yep,
to the number, the
The number
26.
26?
yeah.
Honestly, it was what I felt was a good average
All
after
right,
Mm-hmm.
like after walking a little bit, like saying, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I walk. It takes me 6 miles to or an hour, 2 hours to walk 6 miles right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what is it going to break down to?
Mm-hmm.
So, so that's kind of just based off of being realistic and not just
all
being
right,
like I'm gonna power all day through. That's an eight
Mm-hmm.
hour day of 26 miles. That's a normal person in New York walks like 37 miles, I think, in a day.
all right.
So is what I've
Okay,
researched. So it's
and
like
what's the significance with Florida?
so
You know,
for me it's my mom moved out there.
all right,
She decided to jump up and say, I'm gonna do something wild because my kids always do wild things.
there you
I'm
go.
and I didn't expect her to come home one day and say, "Hey, I'm moving to Florida."
All right,
And she did that just last year. And so she's coming up on her year mark, and so I just, I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna go see my mama. But it's that portion of it too.
yeah.
But then I was trying to be realistic. Where would I go to that would be a destination that makes sense to people? It's like, oh, if I tell you I'm gonna go see my mom, and my mom changes her trajectory and she's in Canada next week, then I need to figure out which way I'm going. You
So
know,
you're gonna walk to Key West. You're gonna go
it,
to the end of the states.
so
Is that what
she's
I'm
in
hearing?
Palm Bay, Florida.
All right, all right.
Yeah. So 2,360 miles from me.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So
So,
hey, that is courageous in itself. So when do you expect to start this journey? Like, do you have a date in mind of when you want to start
yes.
this?
My goal is next February.
All right,
So this year has been that trajectory of be scared now before the time is
Mm-hmm.
is here,
all right,
and that's kind of where I've been amping up. So now it's the time I've been getting all my maps
all
together
right,
and
all right.
all these things
So
research.
you're planning out your route now,
Yeah.
and then of course during that time you'll need the caravan because here's the thing you're gonna need people to follow you,
So
and
I'm gonna be doing an unassist.
oh
So there's
oh
different ways. Yeah, so there's different ways of doing. People surprisingly do this more often than not.
uh,
I prefer to do an unassist.
all right,
It only because of the cost and the
Mm-hmm.
taking somebody else out of their
But if they want
time.
if they want to donate their time, that's a totally different situation.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm
If
saying?
somebody wants to meet me along the way and find out where I'm at and hang out through the through the timing, I'm more than grateful to have someone drive along
I can
and see me along my way.
I can tell you right now, if you came through where I live at in Ohio, and I knew you were close, I would walk
Adding a
with you.
few extra
So,
miles to
yeah,
that trip.
yes, it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
just a few extra miles. But yeah, it's on the way to Florida.
Oh yeah, no, and that's the
It's
great
on the
thing
long
about
way to
It's
Florida.
on the long way to Florida.
yeah,
But
the
hey,
long
you'll,
way.
you'll get your steps in.
Heck yeah. No, I know that, and I think that's where a lot of people are like, "Well, what are you planning to do, and what are you gonna do?" And it's like,
Yeah,
people are gonna be there.
yeah, they will.
They're gonna be there. They're not gonna let people just not have. And I know that I have good friends that would at least share the information, right?
Yeah.
Share it.
Well-
They don't have to. They don't have to give me their money. I mean, if the
Yeah.
bank wants to send me your check instead of you sending it to you, they can do that too.
So I have a friend who was actually on this podcast last year, maybe the year before last. But his name is Kyle Killinger, and he actually walked a pretty good length to a veterans suicide memorial, and I can actually get you in touch with him, and and you guys can like he can tell you what he did to prepare and what he's still doing. But so I'll actually message you probably either today or tomorrow and give you his contact information.
Oh yeah.
But hey, I think that's pretty awesome. You know that you're doing it. You know what I'm saying?
It's a challenge. I'm not gonna lie. I decided I was like, oh, I'm gonna throw this out on Facebook or on the social media, and I was like, 24 hours later, I'm trying to look to how to archive, and I'm like, don't archive it, don't archive it. Keep
No,
it
because you already put it out in the universe. Okay.
Yeah.
Once you put it out in the universe, you can't really take it back.
Nope.
It's there. Now, if you don't go through with it, that's the universe speaking, you know.
Right.
But I think right now it's you're laying the groundwork for it to be done. You just got to have faith and belief that it will happen, you know. And like you said, it'll happen when you want it to happen, you know.
Yeah.
But I think it's a great thing. I think it's an honorable thing for you to do this, you know, because you're walking for a purpose, you know.
Yeah.
And it's a huge personal sacrifice.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think that's been the biggest thing is that sacrifice, right? Losing your businesses, losing your your home, I just got married a year ago. You know, my partner's like, "What the hell? Why are you leaving?" And then you don't even know how long you're going to be gone for because, well, what if it doesn't take you 26 miles? You don't walk 26 miles because you were lazy and whatever, you woke up and you had a cough and you only could walk 10 miles that day or whatever, it's like you don't know how long it's going to take you. And for a moment, it was a lot like that. And then I think they're on the days that get on the nerves is when he's like, well, I can't wait till you leave.
Well, here's the thing. Maybe by the time it all comes around, he'll join you.
Yeah, well, maybe. We'll see. He's a very more introverted style. We're very opposites attract. Very much so opposites attract on that.
Well, but I mean, yeah, I mean, and which he does have some valid questions, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like you said, you're doing your research, you're doing what you need, and you believe, it like we said earlier, it doesn't matter if other people believe it or not. You believe, you have the faith, you have the willpower, and if you want it to be done, it'll be done.
Yep.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's really what it comes down to. But of course, we here at Shape the Podcast will support your journey no matter what, because that's what we do. And but by you walking, you're sharing hope and positive energy. You're sharing hope and positive experiences. You'll never know like who you'll come in contact with. That
And I'm
because
excited about that.
because of the journey that you're gonna take, you might touch somebody's life along that journey, and then you never know. You might have people join you. So I think it's awesome. All right, so
I'm picturing that scene in Forrest Gump where he's running across the desert for the third time, and there's 30 or 40 people behind him following him.
Yep. They get that. That's where the happy face comes from. The have a
Yep.
nice day.
We'll call you Faded Gump.
yeah. Faded go. He'll end up going to Washington instead of Florida.
Hey, the monks.
But he's still not coming to Ohio.
Yeah, he's not coming to Ohio.
Sorry.
Yeah. He's not even coming to Connecticut. Sorry.
Yeah. No. What is it through? So you go through Colorado, Kansas, Missouri. That little, all of that dirt, just plain ass area. Ain't nothing around there.
Yeah, maybe you should change your.
You'll go. I'm sure there'll be days without any support structure if you're only going.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to say only going because, like, I wouldn't do it, but 26 miles a day. If you're in some of those rural areas,
Yeah, where it's nothing but.
that's going to take some planning.
Maybe you should change your trajectory. I'm just saying.
Change it up.
I mean, you
got the move. You got an extra room over there, and I can just shorten the trip.
I mean, you might want to change your trajectory, especially if you're going to be walking through some of those areas, because it's like dry and desert land. So you won't see a town for miles.
Thankfully, with technology these days, with the Google Maps and the little things like that, I've been able to make a pretty decent route that breaks down into BLM land, also into like camping areas where like the main bigger stops are like camp RV spots where I'm just like, I know they're gonna just be like, yeah, go wash up, do what you need to do, and keep on moving, and so I'm not too worried about that. And I think I have a good enough speaking ability. And I'm working on my impeccability of words. That I think I can work my way through, and also get fed one night or two. So,
yeah, well, and here's the thing, and I'm not saying you should start this, but maybe a little campaign, so to speak. Like and I know like it's going to take money to do this, right?
Oh yeah,
and it's going to take the kindness of other people. But maybe you should start. Hey, do you have a Facebook page for it?
I haven't yet. I'll be honest because I keep going. I know
we will get that going on, sir.
We're gonna get it going. I think it's more of that that worry, right? That I don't want to let nobody down. Yeah. So just like adding those things and making sure that I'm responsible enough. If somebody sends me a pair of shoes, that I'm using those pair of shoes along those walks. Yeah. That because somebody took that money out of their mouth or whatever. So I want to be ready for it. To be saying, you know what? I have this amount of supplies, and along the way I need this. And so that it can be more of, okay, he did his research and he already has what he started off with. And
but
what he needs.
Don't turn down a gift. You know what I'm saying?
I will never turn down a gift.
Because you are going to go through some shoes, sir. You're going to go through a lot of shoes.
And shoes are freaking expensive. $155 for a pair of shoes is
Yes.
not is
I
is
I I think this is an opportunity for someone like New Balance
Yes.
or
oh yeah,
Nike
those New
to
Balance,
Or
those are what I
sponsor
just tried
or
on.
or Ghost or OnCloud
sponsorship
or
opportunity.
you
Yeah.
know. So yeah, if anybody out there has a shoe connection and says,
Yes,
"Hey,
please.
I got this guy that's going to be," or
I
sir,
could take plenty of pictures inside on a hike and a couple
Mhm.
videos.
I know I know you want to do it by yourself, but if you get in with an organization that has those connections, you know,
Yeah,
it's all about it's, and I get it. You know, a lot of it is it's self pride. All right,
that's really what it comes
it's
down to.
self pride. But sometimes, sir, you got to put that self pride aside and be like, you know what? Uh, I welcome whatever the universe throws at me to support this journey. All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
They've supported the ribbon this far.
so
The
I
universe
mean,
has supported, yeah. And
you
that's plenty of money that they've put into it and that I carry around and people that didn't even see it or never have seen it before. They said, "Here's money because I believe you're gonna do that," and then I did
Mhm.
it, and who knows if any of them has ever seen it. That person that gave me that first dollar, I don't know if I've ever seen them again.
but it's simply because they believe in your journey, what you're doing
Right.
to make an impact. Right.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So don't be afraid of that. You know, yes, it's very hard, but don't be afraid of that. You know, because blessings will happen no matter what. You know,
Right.
it's just we have to be accepting of those blessings sometimes. You know,
Mhm.
and and sometimes it's very hard. I mean, like I'm not gonna say that maybe Jason's bank account closing mysteriously was a blessing. I don't know, but
Who
I
knows?
mean,
He might have got a letter saying he was getting scammed later on and realized that it
you
stopped
never know.
getting him
Yeah,
from getting
but
scammed.
yeah,
But
like for
So
you,
so he, so here was the blessing in disguise, right? I went through hell yesterday getting this all figured out and trying to figure out what happened. Today, I get this random email from uh, Wells Fargo Bank. $325 if you open a personal checking account and you have 10 qualified transactions in the next 60 days or 90 days. Well,
sold.
my wife's direct deposits will satisfy the qualifying transactions. So it seems like we went through hell yesterday, but in the end, we're going to get 325 bucks for it.
yeah,
So yeah,
And we wouldn't have done that if the what seemed like a negative thing didn't happen. So
and
right.
this
always for the best.
this is a full circle going back to you, Faded. You know, it's
Yep.
the journey is not going to be easy. But don't lose the faith. Number one, I uh, don't let your self pride get in the way.
Hmm.
Because I mean, I have that problem. A lot of people have that problem of letting our self pride and oh, I could do this on my own get in the way of accomplishing the goal that we want to accomplish.
Yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
No,
So
and I that's why I go back to making sure I keep up with my videos, you know. I'll check in and I'll pop in and I'll be like, "Oh shoot, I haven't done a video. Let me get back on track cuz that's like it's almost that like reminder like you can do this. There's that 10 people that's that one person that jumps on and listens and sees what you're talking about, you know."
Hmm.
So,
yeah. Well, I think it's great, man. Keep it up. You know,
oh yeah.
we mean the podcast. We will
Hmm.
follow your journey, and don't worry. I'm a stickler, sir. Uh, uh, I will give you that push that you need to
Oh
to
yeah.
to make it happen. All right, because I think it's a great thing. You know,
Yeah.
but
I appreciate that.
you need to let more people know about it. All right? And even if that's making a Facebook page and getting that started and it not come to fruition, at least you'll have people seeing it, and then you'll also have
Hmm.
people uh, believing in you and giving you that extra push to make this happen. You know,
Oh yeah.
but it's all about believing in yourself and knowing that God's got me, or my higher powers brought me this far. I know He's going to carry me through some more. So,
Yes, sir.
yeah. But man, we appreciate you coming on tonight, man.
Yeah, no, thank you.
I think it's amazing, you know, with what you're doing in your life. Don't give up.
No.
And before we wrap up the show, if there's one thing you can tell somebody right now who is struggling with crap in their life, you know, whether it be sickness or, you know, anything, you know, with mental health, what's one thing that you can tell somebody?
Get up and do it. Do something. Not get up and do something about it. Whatever you're worried about or struggling with, tell somebody off if you need to. If you whatever you need to do to make sure you're feeling right in a respectable way, and not necessarily that telling someone off is going to be good, but find peace within yourself. And when you find peace within yourself, nobody else's peace can bother you. Yeah. Or
Yes, man.
Yeah.
I like that.
Excellent.
Well, sir, thank you, man. We appreciate you. Again, we're going to keep up with this journey, all right? And I think it's one that hopefully people who have watched this and people that will listen, because this will be on Apple Podcasts. So thank you to all those on Apple Podcasts, by the way.
Thank you.
That they'll hear it. And yeah, but thank you, man. We appreciate it. Thank you for coming on. And
good night.
big thanks to Chewy for suggesting you as a guest. So
Yes, sir.
all right, man. Have a great night. We're gonna let you go back to our green room.
Later.
Thank you so much. Thanks for being here.
Good, man. I like that. I
Yes.
hope that
What a
yeah. I hope that it happens. I hope it comes to fruition. I think that he's got a good baseline, and I'm ready to see what happens. But man,
I'm looking forward to following this story and the walk and supporting however I can, because what a great cause, man. Especially
it is.
You know, we both respect the purpose there. So
Yep, yeah, and that's the thing. You know, like you said, there's what's stopping him is the what ifs. You know,
right.
But if we all let the what ifs stop us in life, then nothing will ever happen. You know.
Yeah.
Back when I started this podcast almost 3 years ago, had I let the what ifs stop me, this podcast would never survive. So, yeah, never let the what ifs in your life stop you from accomplishing your goals. So,
correct. Yeah.
But man, I appreciate you again. I appreciate all the listeners, all the followers. Like, subscribe on Apple Podcasts. Please give us a review. That'll help us push us up in the algorithm. Share the podcast out on YouTube. I would like to get that viewership and followership up. And of course, share the Facebook page, you know. Join the Facebook page, join the Facebook group. And we'll see you again in 2 weeks for another episode of Shape the Podcast. Good night, everybody.
Have a great night, everybody.